Shall we start, Principal Sir? So very good evening, one and all. Sri Kumaraswamy Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Latur in Maharashtra State is organized an international e-conference. It's a daily webinar series. For today's session on the dais is Honorable SREEVIDYA, yes ma'am, as a keynote speaker. So first of all, I heartily welcome to you, madam. I welcome the chief organizer of the series, the ideal principal of Sri Kumaraswamy Mahavidyalaya Ausa, Honorable Dr. M.M. Bedkar sir, and heartily welcome all those dear participants. The topic for today's presentation is Bagless Day Activities. Now, keynote speaker, SREEVIDYA, yes madam. I don't know the details about her, but she is very dynamic personality and knowledgeable person one. She is from DHOFAR region at Oman country. So with this brief introduction, now I request you, madam, please start your presentation on the topic Bagless Day Activities. You are most welcome.
Thank you, sir, for a nice introduction. First of all, a very warm good evening, esteemed chairperson and the chief organizer, Dr. M.M. Bedkar, and the International E-Conference organization team, and all the people or all the audience who have come and joined for today's session. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the organizers for extending this invitation to me. It's truly a privilege to be given an opportunity to share my thoughts and insights with such a nice audience. And this is the second time I'm participating in this conference. I am feeling so proud. I'm very happy. And I would like to share my presentation. With your permission, I would like to.
Please.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir. Yes. Yeah. So now I would like to ask, I think at least 14 esteemed guests have joined for this presentation. I would like to ask you if you have heard this Bagless Day earlier. If you have heard that, could you please put an yes or a thumbs up so that we can proceed further? How many of you have heard this? Yes, I can see. Yes. Yeah. Okay, I think sir says no. Okay, this is the first time you are hearing about this. Okay, fine, sir. Okay, fine. Okay. So I would like others also, you can even do the reactions. If you have heard, you can put a thumbs up. Okay, Prashant sir says yes. Okay, fine. Okay, Govind sir says no. Right. Okay, I think we can go ahead then. Okay, fine. That's nice. Okay. Now, a small question actually. You have heard that you said, okay, and have you participated or have you organized a Bagless Day activity? Anybody who has heard? Prashant sir, can I?
Yes, ma'am. I have heard that
yes.
No students carry their bags to school. Now, this much knowledge I have.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Yes, that's actually the core of this. Okay, fine. That's great. Okay, yeah. Now, I would like to say this Bagless Days. Okay, today we are going to see the concept of Bagless Days and how various types of activities are organized and how we are going to understand the impact of that Bagless Days in what way it helps the students. That is what we are going to see in this today's session. And as you have rightly mentioned, no bag. Any child will feel happy, isn't it? Every day carrying school bag, and one fine day, no bag. It actually makes the children feel very happy. Okay. So now here, actually, this particular days are designed to break the monotony, okay, of the traditional classroom learning. Every day they are having that, all the days they are learning the things with the textbooks, isn't it? So now this particular Bagless day will be emphasizing on hands-on as well as experiential learning. So these kind of activities, this will actually help the child to develop creativity and enhance social skills, and at the same time it will also promote physical well-being, and all these things are aligned with the NEP, okay, holistic development goals. We will see further. Okay, before that, so as you can see, the children are with bags, and you can see the children, okay, the smiles of the children you can notice in the other picture also, isn't it? Yes. So now moving on to the next part. Now, as we all know that NEP has recommended for the school, education. Number one is competency-based teaching. The next is digital literacy and introduction of contemporary subjects like AI, data science, design thinking, transforming assessment for student development. So the way of assessing has also been changed. Then the holistic progress card. And there is no difference as scholastics as well as co-scholastics. And then inclusive practices, promotion of multilingual teaching, and developing the scientific temper, and encouraging 21st century skills. Can anyone give some inputs on the 21st century skills? What are the 21st century skills? Can you put in chat? What are the 21st century skills? The most commonly called C's. Yes, I am expecting some response from the audience so that we all can interact and speak actually. Okay, fine. So 21st century skills, creativity, critical thinking, all these things will come under 21st century skills. Problem solving skills, all these will be 21st century skills. And effective governance, new pedagogical structure. Now coming to the foremost important part is experiential learning. Just now I was telling you about Bagless Day. That also, is one of the part for experiential learning. Then health education and other important aspects. That is mathematical and computational thinking, vocational education, and CPD for teachers, 50 hours of CPD. Then values and ethics, increased focus on foundational literacy and numeracy, and rooted in Indian culture and knowledge. That is what Indian Constitution and knowing India. So just as a brief outline, I wanted to highlight this NEP recommendation so that we can proceed further. So now, as Swami Vivekananda says, knowledge can only be got in one way, the way of experience. There is no other way to know. If we remember all our learnings, we all can remember, yes, just now I saw Sheetal ma'am's response, communication. Yes, exactly. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Yeah. So now this knowledge can be got in one way, the way of experience. There is no other way to know. So now, as what is Bagless Day concept? It is actually to ease the burden of the school children and to shift focus from the usual bookish knowledge to practical and relevant skills. Okay, what they can apply and learn. That is what no school bag day. That is the concept. So now here, the important part, what they are going to do, they are going to learn collaboration, teamwork, communication, and vocational activities like carpentry, pottery, metalwork, stitching, gardening. These kind of activities will be taught for the children. And this particular Bagless Day will be utilized for instilling these skills. The skills are very important nowadays. And this Bagless Day concept will make the learning also more meaningful as well as fun. So now it is also going to ensure good health of children. Now here for which class? That's what the next one. Okay, it is importance of pre-vocational education program at the middle stage. That is what CBSE, NEP 2020 highlights the importance. Okay, and when they are doing all such things, what happens is they will be able to choose their occupation or profession in future also. So these interesting activities will be planned for Bagless days. How we are going to plan? First of all, the objectives, as I initially told you, the objective is number one, building observation-based learning capacity and scope for practice. So observation is very important for anything to be learned, isn't it? So here also, the number one is observation-based learning. The second is actually understanding of connectedness of community as well as interdependence. So now when we are learning such skills, okay, as I told you, carpentry and other skills, okay, these also, the students will get an idea about all these skills and they will be able to connect with that society to enhance theoretical as well as practical application. It is not only the bookish knowledge which they are going to get, they are also going to learn something which is useful for their life. So it's going to be a lifelong learning also. And another important aspect is the students learn dignity of labor. Any profession is, they have to respect all the professions. That is what they will be learning. So through all this hands-on activity and existing local vocations, as I told you, carpentry and other activities. And not only that, they will be able to interact with the people who are in this profession. Maybe they are artisans, maybe they are craftsmen, those who are involved in this work, they will have a one-to-one talk, they will have an interaction with the people and try to learn these skills also. So that is why it will popularize the concept of vocal with local. Okay, and another thing is giving exposure to possible career higher education avenues. Maybe now we should not ask a question, carpentry, if they are learning, are they going to do carpentry in future? No. Maybe when they are doing such work, okay, it may give them some more idea or something else also. They will have an idea after doing learning some skills. Okay, now as you can see, this particular Bagless Day will focus on the development of life skills. So experiential, inquiry and discovery based learning. So that is what will remain in their mind forever, isn't it? So now the next is actually, it will also promote mental and physical well-being. And when they are doing all such craft work and other activities, what happens is their creativity is coming out, isn't it? And overall, there is a holistic development which happens for the students. So the next is how we are going to implement Bagless days. Okay, sir told me he has heard about no bag day. Okay, now here I think many have joined now. Have you, how many of you are school teachers here? Can you put in chat, please? Anybody who is teaching in school? Anyone who is teaching in school? I request you all to respond. Yes, Sheetal ma'am says yes. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yes. So have you introduced this Bagless Day concept? May I know that? Okay, not yet. Okay, maybe in the process. Okay, fine. Prashant sir also says yes. Okay, fine. Okay. So I think two from school education, I think so. The remaining all are from higher education maybe, right? Okay, that's why I'm not getting response, I think. Okay, fine, no problem. It's okay. So now, how are we going to implement this Bagless days? So now here, number one, we all are already familiar. When during our school days also, this educational tour. Okay, it's one of the very important part, isn't it? And then the field visit to historical sites, museums, parks, where we are not carrying our books, right? The textbooks are not coming with us. What we are doing, we are observing, okay, all those famous places, and then we are trying to learn from those, spots. When we visit on the way itself, we are learning so many things, right? The next is actually by doing some experiments. The third one is about natural exploration. Sometimes when you are going even for a park or visit nature walk, that also will help the students to learn many things. Okay, and then The next is through surveys and case studies. The students can do some survey and case study, which we will see in further slides. And finally, interviews involving community as well as parents. So they can also do some interview with, for example, go to a hospital, talk to a doctor, a day with a doctor, okay, and his profession. They can understand, okay, what is their profession, what are the challenges, how okay, he is handling all these things. Like that also, the day can go and it will be useful. He will know something more about the medical profession, right? Yes. So now moving on to the next part, how we are going to implement. Now, when we are implementing, what we have to do, number one, always documentation is a must. So anything we do, there should be, it should be documented. Why the documentation is necessary? Can anyone respond? Why is documentation necessary? Why we have to document everything? Anything we do, sometimes what we do, we take photos, whether it is school or college, any activity we do, we take photos. Why do we do that? Yes, Sheetal ma'am says again, thank you ma'am, for permanent records. Yes, later also, yes, we can see that and it will be a permanent record, right? Yes. So now, thank you ma'am once again. Now, first of all, when we are documenting, what all things we are going to include here? That is what we are going to see. Number one, when we are doing which month or week we have, assigned that particular Bagless day. Okay. Now, second is what kind of activity we have planned. Second is name of the activity. Then through that activity, what kind of objectives, what are the learning objectives? Okay. That and number of days planned. Okay. Sometimes, maybe every month 2 days or every month 1 day, like that we can, it is up to our convenience. Okay. And try to, document that number of days. Then what are the resources required? Okay. Suppose we are calling the children and having some kind of activity. For example, no fire cooking. Nowadays it's very trending, isn't it? So suppose we are doing that, then we have to tell the children that you have to bring these items. Like that we have to tell the children, right? So for that, what are the resources required? And from the school side, what all things we have to be prepared. Everything has to be documented. And pre-activity, what are we going to do? And then when we are planning each and everything step by step, what we are going to do. Okay, all these things we try to plan. And then how we are going to execute that plan, that also. Finally, after completing, as Sheetal ma'am rightly mentioned, as for permanent record, what we have to do, our outcome, there should be a report. Okay, we did, Bagless Day concept on this particular date. Okay, and the children were asked to bring these items, and this was the, outcome. Okay, this was the objective, this was the outcome. That's how we are going to document it very effectively. So this will actually help us also. Okay, maybe the previous year we would have done some activity. Okay, how it went on. Suppose we would have learned something from our previous experience. It's a lessons, isn't it, through our experience. So same way, next time we have to plan something, another one. Okay, so we will correct ourselves, right? Yes. Now, how are we going to assess or evaluate the students? So number one, okay, observation skills. Okay, how good they are in observation. So this actually will be okay for our teachers also. Okay, why we are saying this? Observation skills. Yes, Sheetal ma'am, it acts like a feedback on our performance. We can improve accordingly. Definitely correct, ma'am. Very good. Thank you. Okay, so now our improvement is there is always room for improvement. Anything we do, we can improve, isn't it? Yes. So now see our own observation. Through that we are actually trying to learn about those children also. Same way, observation skills, the critical thinking skills, that is also we are able to find out, and questioning. Okay, and then the competency, that is what communication, which we were talking about, isn't it? Language competency also is tested, and the teamwork, how they are mingling with a group of students. Okay, maybe in a classroom setup. Okay, they may be, we may see the children in a way, but when in an informal setup, how the children are behaving, all these things, through these things, we teach us a lot about the children and discipline of the students while performing the activities. Okay, when they are performing the activities, how good are they? Means in that way, I am telling disciplined, organized. Okay, are they interested? All these points we will be able to assess the students. In that way, we can understand the students better. Now, what all things we have to do? Okay, before that, that is, as I told you beforehand, pre-planning, right? So beforehand, we have to inform the parents, isn't it? Parents, teachers, as well as students about the 10 days Bagless Day activities. First, we should have an introduction, isn't it? So the parents should know that the purpose of conducting Bagless Day activities, isn't it? All of a sudden, when we are doing something, there is no clue, isn't it? So what will happen? There will be a lot of questions. So we have to make them aware of, okay, this is the reason this particular Bagless Day activities are conducted. Okay, and the activities which we are organizing, it has to be aligned with the real life situations. It has to be, it should be useful for the people who are the children who are attending that session, isn't it? Then the next one, arranging all the relevant materials as well as resources. Okay, after that, we have to explain the concept. Okay, what we are going to do today. Okay, how it is very important, in what way it is important, in what way it is relevant to different subject areas also. Okay, sometimes we can link interdisciplinary, we say, isn't it? We can link to other subjects also. And same way, we have to involve, observe and evaluate students in each activity. We cannot leave out anybody, right? So when all the students have come, we should ensure that everybody is participating in something or the other, so that they all are involved. Means it should be a total teamwork. Okay, and then after doing that, we have to provide feedback to the students. Okay, how they have done, how it was effective. Okay, sometimes it may go wrong also. So at that time, we should be in a position to explain and encourage the children. Okay, next time they can do a better job. Okay, and same way, we have to provide feedback to the administration, so that they can help us to do something better for the next time, for helping us in our organizing or arranging things. Okay, now I am coming to the different activities. Okay, for example, now handicrafts, you can see in the picture. Okay, the children are wearing a mask, paper mask they have made, isn't it? So now here, it can be anything from sewing, rangoli, paper craft, embroidery, jewelry making, and vegetable painting, mandala art. It is a trending one now, isn't it? Then clay modeling, puppetry, kite making and flying. So these are some of the, just suggested activities. Now, depending upon the age group, the level of the activities we can plan and implement. Okay, now this handicraft, after handicraft, I would like to say about the educational tours or visits. Okay, now there are so many places where we can take the children, isn't it? So number one is, nowadays what happens is, in our days, when we ask, okay, from where we are getting milk, right? So now we all know, okay, where we will go to the nearby place. Okay, cow gives us milk, everything we know. But nowadays, okay, many children know that milk is available in the bottle or the packet or tetra pack, like that, isn't it? How many of you have are getting that pocket milk? Many of us, I should say. Can you use a thumbs up? I would request you to respond. Okay, fine. Yeah. So now the second one is actually, yes, thank you, Aditya sir. Yes, Prashant sir says thumbs up. Yes, most of us are getting milk, and children, small children, don't know from what is the source of that milk, right? They don't know. They have not visited the place also, isn't it? Yes. Second is the dairy farm. Okay. This dairy farm, when we are taking, okay, how, okay, all these process happens. So these things, okay, it's a knowledge for the children, right? Okay, and we can also link science also to the this particular farm visit. Okay, and the next is about research organizations. Maybe if your school is located in some cities, okay, if you are getting an opportunity, maybe we can take them to some organizations. And then industrial training institutes. There are many places, industries, okay, where we can take the students to visit those industries and find out, okay, how it is functioning, okay, what are the various work which are happening and how the final product they are getting. So if they come to know, it will be really useful. Okay, even sugar, okay, where sugar is manufactured, if we are taking them to that place, okay, finally how it is coming from sugarcane, how it is the processing takes place. All these things the children will start learning that, isn't it? The next is again even polytechnics or biogas plant, okay, so solar energy park. Then the next important place we have to take it is old age homes, where they will try to learn empathy, isn't it? Love, how to care, how to respect people. All these things they will come to know when they are visiting such places, right? Even hospitals, how okay, a hospital is functioning, okay, from the the entry, how things are happening around them. All these things the children will learn practical knowledge. Same way, I am coming to banks. I have not included post office. Okay, that is also okay. It's one of the place to visit, because nowadays we are more involved in the emails, right? But still, the children should know about post office. And then banks, how to fill the challan. All these things they should know. Okay, in our school days we used to learn all those things, right? But nowadays everything has become digitalized. So nowadays children know how to transfer money, okay, everything through click of button, right? Yes. Now the next is again fire stations. So like this, different places where these are all places which I have told are connected to real life. What will be helpful for them in future? Such places we have to take the children. Okay. And then next is about, suppose we are organizing one cookery, okay, session in the class, okay, as a Bagless day activity, fireless cooking, okay. We cannot try for the fire cooking with fire, right? So something like that. A small children, we can ask the children to bring some fruits and then make it into rainbow, and we can actually talk about the nutritional value of the fruits, isn't it? So now different fruits, when they are when we are trying to speak about the nutritional value, along with that we can also give a project also later. Okay, you can find out more about that fruit, the origin. Okay, all these things if the children learn, they will be they will get that practical knowledge also. Okay, now moving on to the next one, that is wealth out of waste. Now here I have listed only 3. Okay, but there are n number of things which we can do wealth out of waste, isn't it? So now here doll making, with the small fur, okay, like this, so many small ordinary things which we consider that it's a waste, those things can be turned out into beautiful things. Okay, and children are really very creative. So if we ask the children to do, you can you can get beautiful work. Now you can see in the picture there is a small doll. Can you see? Can you identify what is it made of? What is it made of? Can you guess? Okay, it is made up of coconut shell. Okay, so which we don't think that we can make something creative with that, isn't it? Yes. Now the next is about the wall hanging, and then the third one I have already mentioned, coconut craft. Okay, and you can see in the picture itself different kinds of items which are made using many things, isn't it? Behind that there is you can find one wall hanging there. Okay, it is made with pistachio shells. Okay, so all such work when they are doing, it actually enhances their creativity. Okay, the children sit and think and try to do and be innovative. Okay, so that is again wealth out of waste. So innovation, skills of innovation also is one of the important aspect. Okay, now the next is again experiment. We can also make them for an experiment. Now how we are going to do that experiment? When we are doing an experiment, what do they learn actually? They are learning to investigate something, right? After that, when in the process of that particular experiment, they observe things and then they create that. After that, there is a nice discussion between the children. and the teacher, okay, whoever is guiding them. Okay, so there will be a productive discussion between the children as well as the teacher, and there will be new ideas also will come up. Okay, today this experiment we have done, maybe with that one spark there may be some more ideas, right? Yes. Another thing is it develops critical thinking. Okay, and they know how to categorize things when they are doing experiments. After doing experiment, they know how to analyze that, okay, how the result has been analyzed. Finally, they reason out, okay, this is working out well, this does not work out, okay, like this they will do, and finally they can draw conclusion based on the experiment which they are trying to do. So that's how these experiments actually spark so much of curiosity in the children, and then it leads to further innovation. Okay, so now such experiments also can be part of Bagless Day activity. Okay, so now moving on to the next one. Already I told you about industrial visit, right? So now something about nature. They have to observe what is happening around them, isn't it? So they should know, okay, it's not only the student, the school, home, that not with that. It does not end there, right? So now the student has to visit to national parks, maybe. Okay, even the neighborhood parks also, what kind of trees are available there in that particular park? Okay, how many years old? Okay, like that they can observe the leaves, observe the area. Okay, and through all these things they try to learn many things, right? Now here about suppose if there is an opportunity, they have to visit the national parks where they will observe the animals, right? Again, it is again connected to science. Okay, they will know about the study of animals. Okay, zoology. So if somebody is interested, it may spark an interest towards that particular subject. Okay, and another thing is stargazing. Okay, so if there is an opportunity in the school, okay, they can also try for the stargazing. Okay, so this also will help them. Another important aspect is bird watching. Okay, bird watching. Here also what happens is there are some places where unique birds visit. Some particular climatic condition, migratory birds visit, isn't it? So these birds also will help them to understand the aspects of the birds. The final thing is cycle rally. Okay, they can go cycling. Now we can also emphasize about the importance of cycling, physical exercise, like that. From one to another, we as teachers, we can actually develop and give some kind of positive motivation to the students. Okay, so natural explorations also possible. Now moving on to the next one. Now coming to surveys and interviews. Okay, it is maybe a senior child or class 7 or 8. Okay, this actually I did in one of my classes in class 7. I asked the children to find out who is their neighbor. Okay, they have to interact. There was a 4 or 5 days holidays. They have to interact with their neighbor. Okay, they have to find out who is staying next door, how many members are there, where they are working, what is their profession. All these details they have to collect and bring it. Okay, that is again a small range. That's a survey. Okay, and again another important thing is about talking to people belonging to different professions. This will actually help them again their career choice also. Okay, suppose when they are trying to talk to a doctor, engineer, or somebody who is from a different field. Okay, so from them they are trying to observe things, and they try to know, oh, okay, this profession has, okay, these are the plus points. Okay, this is how okay, these kind of profession people are doing. Like that the children start knowing about the different kinds of professions. And suppose any data related to the problem, even at home we can ask the children to note down the electricity. Okay, how much the electricity bill comes. Okay, this is the amount, this is the range, the meter also we can ask them to observe. So how it changes every month. These are small things, practical skills they will understand. Even the gas cylinder, how many days it comes. Okay, what is happening. So this is the in the end they should know all these practical knowledge in future also. So we have to align all the real life things okay, in a fun way, so that the students will come to know and they will enjoy and do. When two children are doing in the class, the other two will be motivated. Oh, he has done, so I also must do that. Like that, it will actually try to encourage the other children also, right? So now moving on to the next one, theater time. Now comes to, the students will have different knowledge, right? Different ways their talents will be in different angle, right? So now we have to give an opportunity for different children who are having talent in different areas, right? So now these are the moments where we can spot out the talent of the child. So now here, first one, maybe one day, okay, we can have a dance day, okay? So there we can find out how good are they in dance, okay? And then maybe some child will be very good in music, someone will be good at mono acting, okay, and the mimicry art. So like this, their individual talent also can be highlighted. And one day when we are allotting for showing a unique talent day, so that will help the children. We as a teacher can identify the talent of the child. Maybe the child will be a very good actor, we may not know, and on that particular day we will come to know, oh, the child has this kind of talent in him. Okay, now next time we have to give an opportunity for him to shine. Like this, we should find out. Okay, and finally, one more thing is about the mime. So this theater time also can be used as one of the days for one of the activities. So here what happens, their communication skills is developed, okay, when they are speaking, and their creativity, when they are performing something, their creativity, their stage fear is gone, okay, public speaking skills is enhanced. So in one particular day with various activities, what happens is different aspect of the child or the talent is coming out on these days. Okay, and moving on to the next part, that is we cannot leave this, we have to live with this, isn't it? So technology, right? So can we leave the technology? We can never, isn't it? We are able to meet. I am from Oman and you are from India, and we are able to connect because of the technology, right? Yes. So now here you can see doodling we can give. So every day you all can see, or we all have seen Google, isn't it? Doodle. So now the next is about robotics, which is very vibrant now. The next is about the multimedia presentation. We can ask the children, come on, form a team, okay, 3 or 4 or 5. Okay, now when we are doing this, we can have their own choice to become a leader. Okay, each one will assign some work to the other members also. And as a team, they have to perform something. They will be very excited to do a beautiful work. Okay, and another important thing is about animation, which the children enjoy to do. Okay, another thing is about graphics and artificial intelligence. No doubt to say that these are going to, in future also it is going to help, isn't it? So that's how such an interesting activity, if we choose, definitely this Bagless Day concept will be a wonderful thing for the children. Another important aspect we cannot leave. Okay, now this is about the personal hygiene and cleanliness. Okay, sometimes what happens is, when parents say, some children will not listen. Okay, but when teacher says, definitely many will listen. Okay, again, when somebody, some expert from any particular field comes to the school and gives or delivers a talk about some particular aspect, maybe for example, how to take care of the tooth. Okay, that is dental hygiene. So if somebody comes and speaks, what is the right way to brush teeth? Okay, these are all some very important things which they should know, isn't it? So when they are coming here to school and demonstrate all these things and try to enhance this kind of good habits in children, this again will help the students, isn't it? We cannot overlook all these things. These are all again part of their day, health aspect also, isn't it? Yes. Now moving on to the next part. Okay, again, I should say it's very, very important, okay, in today's world. And every time it is important, all time important, I should say. It's very significant concept I should inform everybody. Okay, number one is actually care for public property. Okay, this as a citizen, every one of the child should know that. Okay, this is my school. or this is wherever I go. Maybe a park, if he visits also, he cannot damage something which is given common for everybody. That is a very important aspect, that is care for public property. Okay, they cannot scribble anything on the table and chair. Okay, they cannot do anything which is not allowed to do. So that's how the student should learn. Okay, second part is about the cooperation. Okay, when how to cooperate with people. Okay, there should not be any kind of bullying, right, with the other students. So that's how they should learn cooperation. Another thing, empathy. When I was talking about old age homes, okay, I was telling the part of empathy. Okay, respecting another person also. Okay, and caring for another person, that is very important. Okay, that they have to learn. Education is, after all, after studying, they should know all these basic inherent human quality, right? Yes. The next is about the freedom. Okay, that freedom also, the limit of freedom the student should know. Okay, and another important thing is hard work. How they will be successful if they work hard. Okay, we can have through stories. Okay, how people have come up in their life. Maybe when we are talking about the life history of the famous personalities who have come up in society, okay, in the history of time, we can actually talk about this honesty, patriotism, okay, non-violence and secularism. All these concept has to be inculcated in the student's mind, right? Okay, and when we as teacher, it's a huge role for the teacher to inculcate this. Okay, it's not only the role of the parent, but also the main aspect is for the teacher also. Okay, the next is self-discipline, and finally service to people. We are all here, born here. Why? We have to serve another person. Service to man is service to God, isn't it? So all these concept has to be given or taught to the children in a nice, easy, understandable way. Maybe through stories, maybe through songs, okay, maybe through life history of people. Okay, the way how we are telling, okay, it always remains in their mind. Okay, so now moving on to the next part. Now we should overall, okay, when you are seeing all these things, how does this bagless learning help the children? In what way it helps the children? What is your opinion? Now I have told you something. Maybe it would have, you would have thought that, okay, this will help them in this way also. Like that, if you have any idea, you can put in chat. How does this bagless learning help? Okay, now we will see. The first important thing is practical learning, right? So now they are actually applying their knowledge. What they have got, they are actually using that knowledge. So that's why it's practical learning. Second is overall development or holistic development of the child is developed, right? The third part is, again, as we had discussed earlier, creativity and innovation of the child is also developed. Now, it actually, these kind of activities will develop the curiosity of the child, and he will further experiment what he has done in the school. It will actually again lead him to another one also to do something better. And interdisciplinary learning. So sometimes what happens, as I told you, the science or social science or English or different subjects can be, connected, and in that way they are actually learning different subjects also. Okay, in a fun way, not the bookish knowledge. Okay, finally, it also develops the values, and totally, if we see the multi-skill formation. Okay, so these are the benefits for the children. Okay, through this bagless learning. Okay, now there will be a question. How are we going to implement? I told you earlier also about the documentation part, right? How we are going to document, we were talking, right? So there are some schools who have already started, who are already doing that. Okay, now we will see some sample pictures which will motivate. Maybe one of some of you are school teachers. You can also implement in your school. And you can also give some ideas or inputs to your child's teacher also. Okay, and here I would say, you can see, okay, before I start or before I show the picture, I want to tell you about the famous Albert Einstein's quote. Again, he also says the only source of knowledge is experience. Okay, unless we experience, we will not learn something. Okay, now when we are introducing something, what we have to do? First, we have to, align our children. We have to bring them here to our, we have to create that mood, set the mood, isn't it? So first, what we can start with, circle time. Okay, now there is a, like an icebreaker, we can have some activity. Okay, and we can start doing something like circle time. And another thing is what we can do. This you all remember our our own 90s kids are our own games which we used to play. Okay, maybe we can teach those games also. What we have forgotten, we have to bring it back, right? So like that we can have an icebreaker. Okay, we can have such games also. So these things also will help the children. Okay, now moving on to that activities. You can see tie and dye, right? So now through this, what we can talk about tie and dye, how it is done. Okay, the process of doing. Okay, and which place it is famous for. Okay, there are some states where they are exclusively doing this tie and dye. Okay, so those handicrafts also we can concentrate on those particular states. Okay, they will come to know about the unique places where such things are happening. Okay, so now moving on to the next one, which can we ignore gardening without seafood is very important, isn't it? Agriculture is very important, right? So maybe we can have a garden, okay, like a kitchen garden, a small garden. We can keep it in our maintain in our school campus where the children themselves maintain. Okay, and they will be very responsible. Okay, I am sure, because for the past 2 years, even in our school, we have a small garden maintained by the students. Okay, and another, so now when the children are doing all these things, they will know practically how food comes. Okay, how a plant grows. Now their science knowledge, botanical knowledge, that is also developed there, isn't it? So now gardening also can be part of one of the activities. Now you can see the clay modeling. Okay, again clay modeling, you can see the same fish shapes here. But again, when the children are doing, what will happen? They will be thinking about something, their own idea also they will incorporate, isn't it? There again, what happens? Their creativity comes out, their innovation comes out, right? Yes. Now, the next is actually very commonly we say that, oh, this is a very common one which mother does, okay, at home. This is very common, like that we may think. But this pickle making also involves some process, right? So now how a pickle is made, again, science also we can bring in there, isn't it? So the cutting of the vegetables, okay, cutting of those items, what are the required items for the pickle? So all these things, it actually develops their thinking skills also. Okay, moving on to the next part. So now I was talking about doll making, right? Now you can see with the paper, some children have made a doll, isn't it? Each child's doll is different. Did you all notice that? Different colors, different pattern, isn't it? So now no two child's doll is same. So now you can see that again their creativity, isn't it? Yes. Now moving on to the next one, that is mask making. In the initial slide also I was showing you this. So this is again, suppose a lion or tiger. Okay, if it is a small child, the child will know, okay, what this animal, where it lives, wild animals, domestic animals, all these concepts also we can actually make the child to learn all these things, right? So now the next important aspect here is pottery. Okay, pottery also nowadays, as CBSE has introduced a skill subject. In that, one of the subject is pottery. Okay, and suppose some places, some of the places also will have such pottery units where we can take the children and they will see practically how a pot is made, how a clay is made into a beautiful, artifact finally. Okay, these things they will come to know. And here we can say that is how you are also molded in a school, right? The children are also molded. They come like a clay in the initial year. Finally, in the, after 12th standard, when they go out, they are in a full-fledged form, okay, a beautiful flower like that they are blooming, isn't it? Yes. Now, you can see the activity where the child is also involved, okay, along with that person. Now, other children are observing that. Can you all see that? Yes. Now, you can find, yes, yeah. Now, you can see electric work. This is also done by a child, okay? How basic electric work, at least the student should know, right? So what even for changing the tube light. So these are all some common things, but this also the child should learn. And here again, the concept of physics can be introduced in an informal way, right? Now the next part is about nature, okay, tree plantation. So this is also here it is actually helping the children to have sensitive towards the environment. So now what happens, the child will know the importance of plants and trees in their